Hey guys, I know I've been absent for a while now, and I would like to explain to you all what's been happening.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. We've obviously got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. As you guys saw in that intro, Big Ramy did put out a statement in response to where he's been and missing the Pittsburgh Pro. So we're going to get into that in a bit. But first, we'll talk about some other stories. So the first story I wanted to talk about today was Sibusiso. He was the guy that was supposed to compete in the Arnold Classic Brazil and was eventually disqualified essentially for being late. He arguably could have won that show or been a contender to win that show, so a lot of people were disappointed to see that he was not able to compete. It was very unfortunate. The circumstances were very unfortunate, and overall, I think it was a loss to not be able to see him compete. I think he did have a chance of winning. Now, these latest updates, courtesy of his training partner, Jack Lauder, he sent me these, and he's weighing 292 pounds at 4 weeks out from the Monster Zim Pro. So he will have another opportunity in about a month to try to qualify again for the Mr. Olympia. Now, I think this is interesting because a lot of these top guys that we're talking about right now are relatively aesthetic men's open bodybuilders. Sibusiso, great V-taper, great structure, great shape, small waist. His conditioning, from what we could tell of what we could see of what they called a guest posing at that Arnold Brazil, was pretty good. And we've got guys like Sibusiso. We've got guys like Charles Griffin. We've got guys like Blessing Owodobu. We've got guys like Samson Dauda. Small waists, vacuum pose, aesthetics, good proportions, good structure, all the while carrying a pretty good amount of size. Blessing Owodobu, Samson, Sibusiso, these are all guys that are high 290s in competition shape. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Sibusiso compete again, and I hope that he does qualify for the Olympia at that Monster Zim Pro. Now, next up in the news, we got a physique update from Keone Pearson. So in these updates, Keone is weighing 204 pounds, and honestly, he looked pretty impressive, and he looked like he was pretty close to a show because he looked a lot leaner than that guest posing that we saw from him recently. So I asked Keone just to make sure, because I've been kind of confused about this. First, he said he was going back to Classic, then he was staying in 212. So I wanted to clarify. I asked him, and he said, yes, he is 100% staying in 212. I asked him which shows he's actually prepping for, just to be 100% clear, and he said both Tampa and Texas. So he's going to be competing, I guess, towards the middle to end of the summer, a little closer to the Olympia. And I've got to say, he does look pretty good here and pretty lean for 204 pounds. Typically, he's not one of the heavier guys in 212. You got a lot of guys, for example, Derek Lunsford, who supposedly was weighing like 260 pounds at that Pittsburgh Pro, that have to drop 40-something, possibly 50 pounds to get into that 212 weight cap. And for Keone being a guy that is securely under that limit, I think he looks really good, and he really does he fits well in that division. So shout out to Keone. Looking forward to seeing him take the stage again, hopefully qualify for the 212 Olympia again, and hopefully he will have the ability, or the opportunity, I guess I should say, to have a better showing at the 2022 Mr. Olympia. I have no doubt that between one of those two shows, Keone is more than capable of winning. He could potentially win both. And speaking of Derek Lunsford, we had a recent physique update from him as well, and that's kind of the thing that I wanted to point to here. He looks pretty incredible. He looks pretty big here, very similar to how he looked at the Pittsburgh Pro, and I think, again, it's all that much more impressive knowing now that even the addition of Derek to that Pittsburgh Pro guest posing was very last minute. It's not like he prepared for it. It's not like he was trying to diet and look good for that guest posing. It was kind of because Big Ramy dropped out at the last minute, and they had to sub, or they wanted to sub somebody else in to kind of fill out that guest posing lineup a little more. So that makes me even more impressed that he just kind of showed up and started guest posing last minute and looked that good in a lineup of those guys. And I've got a feeling he's not going to do the 212 Olympia this year. If he really did weigh 260 pounds and he was that defined, he had that much separation in his legs, that much definition in his abs, his waist was still that small at 260, you would almost think it would damage his physique or set him back to try to lose 40 pounds when he's already got abs. He can hit a vacuum pose. He's got a small waist. He's not distended at all. Separation in the legs. He had some vascularity going on. It's hard to imagine he could drop 40 pounds and look better than he looked there. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. The more we see from Derek and the more impressive he looks, what do you guys think the chances are of him even making weight in 212? And what do you think he has to do? Do you think he deserves a special invitation if he does want to do open Do you think he should have to qualify to do the Open Olympia? What do you think his game plan will be if he's not doing 212 to get to the Open Olympia stage? Now, next up in the news, let's get to the juicy stuff here. Let's roll the clip that Big Ramy gave us, and then let's discuss what he said.
Hey guys, I know I've been absent for a while now, and I would like to explain to you all what's been happening. First, I would like to apologize to Mr. Jemani, the Armenian IFPP Pro League, for not coming to Pittsburgh Pro. Due to personal reason that I can't go into details about, I can't fly to Pittsburgh. It's nothing hurts me more than I know I missed that event, and I let many people down. Mr. Jemani, all the bodybuilding fans, I'm really sorry from the bottom of my heart. I think you know all. From day one, I started bodybuilding. I try to do my best to be a good guide for any person who needs to be a bodybuilder. Maybe I make some mistakes, but I'm a human. And I know in the future I will make some mistakes because it's still a human. I'm really sorry. And I need to explain my apologize, please. Thank you.
So, as you guys know, everybody's been talking about Big Ramy over the past couple of days. Dennis James came out on his podcast and said he has no idea what's going on with Big Ramy. And that question still remains unanswered as to what went on. But I think overall, what Ramy did here was good. I think this was the right thing to do. A public apology to Jim Mannion, an apology to the fans. Because, look, I agree with the fact that a Mr. Olympia is not required or obligated. They don't have to do anything. If they want to sit at home, they can sit at home. But in the case where you commit to doing something for the fans, for someone like Jim Mannion, for something like the Arnold Classic, and then you just don't show up, don't say anything, and don't even let the people know, that's a different situation. So I think the fact that he publicly addressed it was good. I think the fact that he publicly apologized was good. Now, that being said, I think this left us with more questions than answers. He says he wasn't able to come due to personal reasons that he can't discuss. The only clue that he gives us here was that he's not able to fly, which to me seems like a serious issue. Is this potentially a political thing between Egypt and the United States? Is this some kind of governmental travel issue, travel restriction type of thing between Egypt and the United States? I don't know. Is there any truth to the rumor that he got arrested for some reason, and for that reason, he might not be able to fly? I don't know. The fact that he says he can't discuss it could point to something legal like that. Honestly, I feel bad for him here. If this is something that's outside of his control, which it sounds like it might be, because he said in this video, it really bothers him that he wasn't able to make it. So it sounds like he wanted to. It sounds like he wanted to come. But it really does make me curious what kind of circumstances are outside of Big Ramy's control that prevent him from flying. We've heard other potential reasons, that his mother was sick, which is understandable. But the fact that he specifically says here he's prevented from flying, I think is concerning. At least we know, or at least we can assume based on that, it's not a health issue, because I think that was something else that people were starting to worry about is, did something happen to Ramy health-wise? Is Ramy okay? But what does this say if he's not able to make it? I mean, I don't want to understate that the Pittsburgh Pro was a really big commitment for him to miss. So if he's not able to make it to a commitment like that, is there a potential that he's not able to make it to the Olympia? Is that something that could have happened? Is that something that, I don't know, man. Because now it kind of makes you wonder, Dennis James said he heard nothing back from Ramy. Ramy didn't reach out to anybody after not making it to the Pittsburgh Pro. If he was arrested or something like that happened that was way outside of his control, maybe he wasn't able to reach out to anybody. Maybe he wasn't able to be in touch with anybody. Maybe this is the first time that he's had access to social media or had access to his phone, and that's pretty concerning. But I think I speak for all of us when I say we appreciate Ramy addressing it. We hope the best for him. We hope that he is able to compete at the Olympia this year. We hope that he is able to travel again, and we hope that there are no pending legal issues against Ramy. I definitely wish the best for him, and I want to see him have the opportunity to try and defend his title again this year. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Make sure you leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Click that bell notification icon. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out.